You eat breakfast and instead of feeling ready for the day, you feel like you could go right back to bed. Maybe it happens after toast and coffee. Maybe after cereal, oatmeal, fruit, eggs, or a bigger weekend breakfast. At first, it may not seem like much. Your eyes get heavy, your body feels slower, your thinking feels a little foggy. You sit down for a minute and suddenly the morning feels harder than it should. And because it happens after 60, many people explain it away. They say, I'm just getting older. But feeling tired after breakfast is not always just aging. Sometimes it is simple. You slept poorly. You ate a heavier meal. You were dehydrated. You had a quiet morning and your body slowed down after eating. But sometimes that tired feeling after breakfast is a body signal worth noticing. It may be linked to blood sugar, blood pressure, meal balance, medication, timing, sleep quality, hydration, or the way your body responds after food. That does not mean you should panic. Does not mean breakfast fatigue automatically means diabetes, low blood sugar, heart trouble, or any single condition. But it does mean the pattern matters, because the real question is not only, why am I tired? The better question is, what is happening in my body after I eat? This video is for education only. It cannot diagnose the reason you feel tired after breakfast, and it does not replace medical advice. But it can help you understand what may be going on, what signs are worth paying attention to, and when it may be time to talk with your doctor. After breakfast, your body changes gears. Digestion begins. Blood sugar rises and falls. Insulin responds. Your digestive system needs more blood flow. Blood pressure may shift. Appetite and alertness hormones are active. And if you did not sleep well the night before, your body may already be running on a low battery. For some people, the post-meal dip is mild. They feel a little slower for a while, then they recover. For others, it feels heavier. They eat breakfast, then feel drained, weak, sleepy, foggy, shaky, or lightheaded. It happens often enough that it starts to affect the morning. That is when it is worth looking beyond the simple answer of, I'm just older now. One common mistake is assuming tiredness after breakfast always means blood sugar is too high. Blood sugar can be part of the story, especially after a breakfast that is high in refined carbohydrates or large portions. But it is not the only explanation. Some people may feel tired when blood sugar rises quickly. Others may feel tired, shaky, sweaty, or dizzy if blood sugar drops too low after eating. And in many older adults, the issue may not be blood sugar at all. Maybe blood pressure dropping after a meal. So the goal is not to guess. The goal is to observe. Let's begin with blood sugar. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream. Insulin helps move that glucose from your blood into your cells, where it can be used for energy. That is normal. That is how the body is designed to work. But the speed and size of that blood sugar rise can change depending on the meal, your activity level, your sleep, your hydration, your stress, your medications, and how well your body uses insulin. A breakfast made mostly of fast-digesting carbohydrates may raise blood sugar more quickly for some people. That might include sugary cereal, white toast, pastries, juice, sweet coffee drinks, or a large portion of starch without much protein or fiber. This does not mean carbohydrates are bad. It does not mean every person over 60 should cut them out. That kind of advice is too broad and can be unsafe for some people. But it does mean breakfast balance can matter. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats can slow digestion and change how quickly glucose enters the bloodstream. A breakfast with more balance may affect your energy differently than a breakfast that is mostly refined carbohydrates. This is not a cure. It is not a guarantee. It is simply one pattern worth noticing. If you feel sleepy or foggy after certain breakfasts, your body may be responding to the way that meal affects your blood sugar and energy. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, post-meal patterns are especially worth reviewing with a healthcare professional. But tiredness after breakfast can also be connected to low blood sugar. This is where many people get confused. Reactive hypoglycemia means blood sugar drops after eating, usually within a few hours. When that happens, some people may feel tired, weak, shaky, sweaty, dizzy, hungry, irritable, or confused. Some may notice a racing heartbeat, headache, or blurred vision. That does not mean everyone who feels sleepy after breakfast has low blood sugar. But if the tiredness comes with shakiness, sweating, lightheadedness, confusion, blurry vision, or feeling like you might faint, it deserves more attention. This is especially important for people with diabetes who take insulin or certain diabetes medications. Meal timing, medication timing, skipped meals, alcohol, or more physical activity than usual can sometimes affect blood sugar. The safety rule is simple. Do not change diabetes medication on your own. Do not skip doses. Do not adjust timing. Do not stop medication because of a video. If you think your tiredness after breakfast may be connected to blood sugar, talk with your doctor or diabetes care team. They can review your symptoms, meals, medications, and glucose patterns safely. Now, there is another reason older adults may feel tired after breakfast, and many people have never heard of it. It is called postprandial hypotension. That simply means blood pressure drops after eating. After a meal, your digestive system needs more blood flow. Normally, your body adjusts. Your heart rate may rise a little, and blood vessels and other areas tighten to help keep your blood pressure stable. But in some older adults, that adjustment does not work as well. Blood pressure may drop after a meal, often within the first hour or two. And when blood pressure drops, the symptoms can feel like more than ordinary tiredness. You may feel weak, dizzy, lightheaded, nauseated, foggy, unsteady, or like you need to sit or lie down. Some people may notice blurry vision, chest discomfort, or even fainting. This can be more common after 65, and it may be more likely in people with high blood pressure, diabetes, heart failure, Parkinson's disease, kidney disease, or other health issues. This is why timing matters. If you feel unusually weak or dizzy after breakfast, it is worth asking your doctor whether your blood pressure could be changing after meals. Some people check blood pressure only before eating or at random times, so they never see what happens afterward. That does not mean you should diagnose it yourself. But it is a smart question to bring up. Sleep is another part of the puzzle. A lot of people blame breakfast, but the problem may have started the night before. If you slept poorly, woke up often, went to bed late, had pain, got up several times to use the bathroom, or may have untreated sleep apnea, your body may already be tired before you take the first bite of food. Breakfast may simply reveal the fatigue that was already there. Poor sleep can affect alertness, appetite, hormones, and how your body handles glucose after eating. So if you often feel tired after breakfast, it is worth asking, did I truly sleep well? Did I wake up refreshed? Do I snore heavily? Do I wake up gasping? Do I feel tired even before breakfast? Sometimes the morning crash is not only about the meal, 'tis about the whole night before. Meal size can also make a difference. A very large breakfast can leave some people feeling sluggish. Digestion takes work. A heavy meal, especially one that is high in refined carbohydrates and low in protein or fiber, may create a stronger post-meal dip. Hydration matters too. After a full night of sleep, many people start the morning somewhat low on fluids. If you drink mostly coffee, take medications that affect fluid balance, or simply do not drink much water, dehydration may add to fatigue, dizziness, or weakness. Coffee can be helpful for alertness in some people, but it can also complicate the picture. If coffee is replacing water, food, sleep, or medical review, it may hide the real pattern. And too much caffeine can affect sleep, anxiety, heart rhythm, or how steady you feel. The point is not that breakfast is a problem. Breakfast can be healthy, steadying, and helpful. The point is that your response to breakfast can tell you something. So, what should you notice? First, pay attention to when the tiredness begins. Does it happen 20 minutes after eating? 1 hour later? 2 or 3 hours later? Does it happen only after certain foods? Does it happen every morning or only once in a while? Second, notice what you ate. Was the meal mostly refined carbohydrates? Did it include protein? Did it include fiber? Did you drink juice or a sweetened coffee drink? Was it much larger than usual? Did you skip dinner the night before? Did you eat late at night? Third, notice what comes with the tiredness. Simple sleepiness after a heavy meal is one thing. Tiredness with shakiness, sweating, dizziness, confusion, blurred vision, chest pain, shortness of breath, fainting, or trouble speaking is different. Those symptoms should not be brushed off. Fourth, notice your medications. Did this start after a medication change? Do you take diabetes medication, blood pressure medication, heart medication, sleep medicine, or anything that affects appetite or alertness? Do you use supplements, herbal products, sleep aids, or over-the-counter pain relievers? Do not stop or change anything on your own, but bring the full list to your doctor or pharmacist. Not just prescriptions, everything you take. Medication timing and meal timing can matter, especially after 60. Now, let's talk about practical steps that are safe for most people to think about. These are not treatments. They are not guarantees. They are ways to understand your pattern and have a better conversation with your healthcare team. One useful habit is to track your breakfast response for several days. Write down what time you ate, what you ate, how much you ate, whether you had coffee or juice, how well you slept, and what symptoms you noticed afterward. Did you feel sleepy, dizzy, shaky, sweaty, foggy, weak, or unusually hungry? How long did it last? If you already monitored blood sugar because your doctor told you to, follow your care plan and write down your readings as directed. Do not change medications or chase numbers without guidance. If you check blood pressure at home, ask your doctor whether it would be helpful to compare readings before and after meals, especially if you feel weak or lightheaded after breakfast. Another practical step is to look at breakfast balance. For many people, a steadier breakfast includes some protein, some fiber, and a thoughtful amount of carbohydrates. That might look like eggs with vegetables, Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, oatmeal with added protein, or another option that fits your health needs and preferences. But there is no perfect breakfast for everyone over 60. Someone with diabetes may need one approach. Someone with kidney disease may need another. Someone with heart disease, digestive problems, swallowing issues, weight loss, or poor appetite may need something different. Personalized guidance matters. Gentle movement may also help some people. If it is safe for you, a short walk after eating may support steadier post-meal energy and blood sugar patterns. It does not need to be intense. Even light movement can be useful. But if you feel dizzy, faint, unstable, short of breath, or weak after breakfast, do not force yourself to walk it off. Sit safely and seek medical advice, especially if symptoms are new, severe, or unusual. Hydration is another simple area to consider. Unless your doctor has restricted your fluids, starting the morning with water may help some people feel more stable. This may be especially relevant if you wake up with dry mouth, drink a lot of coffee, or take medications that affect fluid balance. And do not ignore sleep. If tiredness after breakfast happens often, look at the night before. Poor sleep, untreated sleep apnea, pain, stress, late-night eating, or frequent nighttime urination can all affect how you feel in the morning. If you wake up unrefreshed most days, that is worth discussing with a healthcare professional. So when should you talk to a doctor? Talk to a qualified healthcare professional if tiredness after breakfast is frequent, worsening, sudden, severe, or interfering with your normal life. Also, talk to your doctor if you have diabetes, prediabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, kidney disease, fainting episodes, falls. Or if the tiredness began after a medication change, seek medical advice promptly. If tiredness after eating comes with shakiness, sweating, confusion, dizziness, blurred vision, a racing heartbeat, weakness, fainting, chest pain, shortness of breath, or trouble speaking. And if symptoms are severe, sudden, or feel like an emergency, seek urgent or emergency care. The main lesson is this: tiredness after breakfast is not something to fear, but it is something to understand. Sometimes it is a heavy meal, poor sleep, dehydration, or a quiet morning. Sometimes it may be linked to blood sugar rising quickly. Sometimes it may be related to blood sugar dropping too low. Sometimes, especially after 65, it may involve blood pressure dropping after a meal. And sometimes the biggest clue is medication, timing, sleep quality, meal balance, or an underlying condition that deserves review. You do not need to diagnose yourself. You do not need to assume the worst. But you also do not need to dismiss your body's signals just because you are older. Pay attention to the pattern. Notice what happens after breakfast. Write it down. Ask better questions. 'Cause after 60, your body often gives quiet signals before it gives louder ones. And that heavy, tired feeling after breakfast may be one of those signals worth listening to. If this helped you understand what your body may be telling you, subscribe for more calm/clear explanations about health after 60, blood sugar, circulation, medications, sleep, nutrition, and the body's signals worth noticing.